How good are you at using other people to help you grow your business? I think one of the big challenges is when it is your own business, it's very easy for it to be your baby. And sometimes what that means is that you can actually become a bit of a control freak. You can become a little bit obsessed with detail. You can become a bit obsessed with everything being absolutely perfect and with wanting every single thing done exactly the way you want it done. But the challenge with that is if you are the person who controls everything in your business, who makes every single decision and who wants to either do or approve every single tiny piece of work, then there becomes a possibility that actually you are a blockage in the business rather than a conduit to growth. So it's really key as you start to grow your business that you look for other people that can help you. Now, if you've got an internal team, then you've got this sorted, I'm sure. That, you've got an internal team in-house that you can rely on, depend upon, utilise to help you grow. If you don't have an internal team as yet, then this is where you need to be looking at people externally and really finding the type of people who are the right people for you, who are, absolutely aligned with you, who get your business and who can work really well with you to help you grow. So let me give you a couple of examples. I think probably the place that the vast majority of people start with when they're looking for some help in their business is with a VA, a virtual assistant. And that is a really, really good place to start. That was absolutely the first place that I started in growing my team. And the great thing about a virtual assistant is that you don't have to sign up to a huge package of support. You don't have to commit hundreds and hundreds of pounds and loads of support. The vast majority of VAs out there will do you a package that starts from about £100. Some of them will just do you hour by hour, but even the people that work on packages, you can put a toe in the water for about £100. Now, I know that you may be thinking, I haven't got £100. But the whole point of getting somebody else to do the things that are not your sweet spot is to free you up the time to actually go and do the much better things, which will bring a lot more money into the business. So how could you use a virtual assistant? The real core basic things that they can do for you is things like managing your diary, setting you appointments. Even think about the times when you change an appointment, when somebody comes back to you to say, can we alter that meeting? And the days when you go ping pong tennis on Messenger or email, and you might have 6 or 8 messages going backwards and forwards about finding a different time for a single meeting. You can actually offload all of that to a virtual assistant, never needs to touch you, and they're just going to tell you, this is the new time, I'm talking to such and such, I'm moving this, that's where I put it to, are you happy with that? So much easier than having to do all that nitty-gritty yourself. You could get them to manage your emails if you, like me, are a person who is quite bad at keeping up with the emails and doesn't particularly enjoy the nitty-gritty of that. You could look to them to give you a little bit of help around the financials. So maybe they could issue your invoices. They may even do a little bit of chasing for you if you need something like that. Lots of virtual assistants do a huge amount of stuff with social media, so they might be able to help you with that kind of thing. Anything to do with customer data or keeping customers informed, planning events, that kind of thing. So there's a million different ways that a VA could help you. And probably the easiest way to think about it is anything at all that feels like admin to you, that feels like detailed, slightly boring, slightly laborious admin. There is a VA that can do that for you. So that's a really easy way to get started. Think also about your accountant. And if you're not currently using an accountant, I honestly would advise you to do that. But even if you are using an accountant, talk to them about actually how they might be able to help you a little bit more. It may be that they could do a bit more of your bookkeeping. They maybe could do your VAT returns, your payroll, your tax returns if you're trying to do those yourself. Things like tax returns are so often a real false economy that you think you're saving money by doing it yourself, but actually you might end up paying more tax and you probably end up spending 5 times as long as the accountant would spend on it. And that's time you could be doing much better stuff for you and the business. And then the other key thing to think about is, what is it that ties you up in knots a little bit in the business? What's the stuff that just seems to take you forever and drains the living daylights out of you? So for me, for instance, I know that writing is just not a sweet spot for me. I'm quite good at it and I always get to the end and feel like I've written something that's quite good. but it's really painstaking stuff. I don't enjoy it. I also find I put it off for ages. So it's not just the fact that it takes me a long time. The fact that I put it off for ages because I don't enjoy it essentially means it takes even twice as long as it does when I get around to doing it. So what is it for you? It could be writing. I know for lots of people it's social media. You want to get more active on social media, but there's just a billion reasons not to. It may be graphics. If you look at lots of other people doing all these amazing graphics, yeah, you could do that yourself on something like Canva, but it might take you hours and hours. And somebody else, a social media manager or a VA, would probably do a whole week's worth of stuff for you in about an hour. So there are loads of people out there that can help you to grow your business. You just have to put your trust in them. And what you have to recognize is that until you actually start to get some help, then you are always going to be very limited with how far and how fast you can grow your business. So if you're serious about taking it forwards, start to actively look for the team that can help you. Doesn't mean you should bring in a massive team overnight. It may be a slowly catchy monkey. You don't have to rush into this. You can put a toe in the water and just test and make sure you find absolutely the right people for you. But this absolutely is the way that you need to go if you're looking to grow your business in the long term. So hopefully that's given you a bit of food for thought, and maybe you'll rush out and look for who's the best person for you to outsource or delegate to right now. I would love to hear in the comments below what your feedback is about this video. So put a like, put a comment, subscribe underneath, and obviously feel free to share this with anybody else who you think would benefit.